So I wouldn't normally make 2 update videos in a row, but I think I have a pretty good reason to make an exception this time. What I have decided to do is unlist the last update video I made, because honestly, I'd like to frame a couple things I said in that video differently right now. I mentioned that I won't be capitalizing off the success of skeletal shenanigans, and that still stands. I won't be focusing on doing anything with these crystals in the gem gauntlet. That still stands. I may reference them in future projects, but they won't be a main focus of anything I make. They really are just the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic, and I'd like to be a little more original than that. I did mention that my little mountain town will be my main focus for a while. I think that'll still be the case, but I was definitely too absolute about that. I only want to work on this level when I feel motivated to, otherwise it wouldn't really be a passion project, would it? I made a community post talking about how I will never spend 1,000 hours on this level or make the video about spending 1,000 hours, though I kind of made that in the heat of the moment. There was a lot going on. I think the bigger issue is that I'm just holding this level to a completely unrealistic standard in my head. It's not so much about the time it takes, more than feeling unmotivated to work on this because I think it has to be absolutely perfect. That's the part that needs to go. I will say I can't promise anything as far as a video about spending 1,000 hours on this, though I won't definitively say that won't happen either. My big issue is that I'm so absolute about things, and I need to cut that out. Life and motivation are just unpredictable. Also, I mentioned that I want to change my brand name and start using this fan-made design by Casper. I'm not completely closed off to those things, but for now, honestly, what I have is working. I need to remind myself of that. I think this character would be good for non-Geometry Dash videos where I can't have my cube jump around like in these. I might experiment with that later, but I just need to make sure that videos are easy on me to make. Like, that needs to be my priority, man. For now, I'm just gonna keep doing what's working. And that about sums up the important points in my last video. As far as diagnoses that I actually have go, I am on the autism spectrum, though when I was diagnosed at 5, I was diagnosed with Asperger's, which probably checks out. Asperger's was later merged with autism spectrum disorder, but it's like very high functioning. I'm kind of like Sheldon, but more stupid. I also grew up the youngest child in a dysfunctional family, so that probably made my thinking less black and white than it could have been. And I do use like sarcasm and humor as a coping method, so a lot of people are kind of surprised I'm on the spectrum. I don't know. That is until they get to know me better and actually see what I do for work. I haven't been diagnosed with anything else, but I've seen a lot of people say I probably have either ADHD or bipolar. Either way, I do deal with like bouts of mania. I haven't been formally diagnosed with generalized anxiety or OCD. Those usually kind of come with autism spectrum, but I self-identify with both of those. In this video, I'll be focusing more on my OCD tendencies, like, for example, spending hundreds of hours on a Geometry Dash level trying to perfect every single detail. That's a good example. Now, this is partially the way I was raised, and partially just how I am, but I naturally hold myself to an inhumanly high standard. A standard that I just never end up coming close to. You know, it's not enough to be a successful micro-celebrity with huge beloved contributions to a community of millions, loved by most of them. If I'm not a badass hottie, the nicest person I've ever met, good at everything I try, and able to solve everyone else in my life's problems while I do it, then what's even the point? Anyway, that is what my mindset was, until I completely lost the ability to sleep, ended up in a psych ward for a bit, and now I've decided to chill the fuck out of it. I wasn't hurting other people, it was because of suicidal ideation, which thankfully I have moved past that now. So yeah, I basically experienced some of the worst insomnia not only I have ever experienced, but I've even heard of. I'm kind of amazed my body was able to take that, to be honest. I guess I have good genetics, but oh my god. No, it wasn't good. It was not healthy. I was getting like 0 to 3 hours of sleep a night for like 3 weeks. straight. I had like bouts of like a few days at a time I just wouldn't sleep. To be honest, it was pretty terrifying at first. I didn't know if I would survive this. I genuinely feel lucky to be alive right now. I'm incredibly lucky to have supportive people in my life that helped me get through that. But it's not over, and things will never really be the same now. I think I'll be okay, but even worrying about whether or not I will be just seems to make the problem worse. So, I don't know, it's out of my hands. I should be alright. It seems to get better the more I just get desensitized to the whole situation, and the more I decide not to take on so much stuff on myself. And just give up trying to be all these different things that I'm just not gonna be. This has made me value just being alive by itself a lot more, because life is temporary, and it does a lot when you kind of come face to face with that. I've decided to put away my insane standards for myself. I've decided to stop taking on so many things in my life for no good reason. I think it's best to focus on the stuff that actually matters to me. When I look back on my life after everything, I don't want to look back on a life spent doing stuff I didn't really want to do out of pressure or to please other people. I don't want to look back on a life where I decided I have to be perfect at all these different things for no reason, and then just ended up crashing out and not doing any of the things anyway. So I'm gonna stop being dumb and just learn from my mistakes for once. So I am going to take things at a pace I need to, and I don't care if that makes me weird or behind. It also makes me alive, and I like that. I like being there for my family. I like being able to contribute things to this world. Also, I am 24, but everyone thinks I look like I'm 20 anyway, so why do I even try? Life is not a race, and I'm done listening to the people that turn it into one. I'm done trying to be perfect, listening to all these voices that say you need to accomplish all these different things. I just want to spend my time doing the stuff that gives me meaning at a pace I'm able to do it at. And that's the best I can do. I think I will make my little mountain town. It was hard for me to work on before because of all the things I thought I was missing out on, and because I thought the level itself had to be, like, perfect or whatever, but I don't care so much about that stuff anymore. I've spent the last year or so trying to get out more and try more stuff, explore myself outside of this game, but I never really fell on anything that felt like it lasted. I think I'd like to get more into the indie game scene, but there really is no rush for any of this. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is probably a lot to hear. I'm kind of dissociated talking about it, so if I sound kind of emotionless, I'm sorry, I can't help it. I feel like I've definitely been pretty selfish taking on so much stuff to the point where I've lost sight of being there for the people who rely on me and look up to me. I wanted to improve myself to be a better example, and maybe I worked through some stuff I needed to. But in the end, the least selfish thing I can do is just to chill the hell out and pace myself so that I'm able to be there for the people in my life. That's all. Thanks for watching. And thanks for all the support over the years. Thanks for watching all my stuff. Thanks for everything to this community. Thanks for all the memories, and hopefully I'll make more good ones.